Good afternoon guys, welcome back to the channel. Chris Dennis here, putting specialist and short game performance coach. Today what I want to talk about is one drill that can help you all improve your short game. So it's going to help you with your contact. It's also going to give you a better understanding between the club and the body. So the biggest thing I see with amateurs is obviously the club and the body work separate. We're either using a lot of wrists in our arms, or we're picking that club and cutting across, and basically we're not using the club and our body to work as one, which will make it a lot easier for you to get a consistent strike, consistent fly and consistent spin, which is basically all we need in short game. Obviously it sounds very easy, but what are we going to do? So let's have a look. So obviously before we go into the drill, I've worn everybody's favourite shirt. I did have a few comments on the orange shirt to put it in the bin, so I thought I'd put it on just for this video to get everyone going again. So first of all, what we want to look at here is obviously short game. When we come down to practice again here, obviously I'm lucky, but I brought down the same golf ball I use on the course. So I'm using a Pro V1 here to practice with. Again, this is something that I want more and more of you to do, is use the same golf ball that you use on the course. If you use one a couple of times on the course and you haven't lost it, I know I lose plenty on the golf course, but if you haven't lost it, put it to one side, don't throw it away, maybe use it as a practice ball. Even if it's scuffed, we're still going to be able to get the same kind of feel, and especially distance control is going to be a lot better if you're using the same golf ball. If you go from a hard ball to obviously a soft ball, it's going to be very hard for you to judge how far that's going to go when you get onto the golf course. So from here, I'm going to make sure that my setup is always around about a club's head width apart. Even if you want, you can go slightly wider, but I don't want to see obviously people with a wide stance trying to hit it. So that's one problem that I see with people being able to turn. As soon as you go a wider stance, it's very hard to time, your weight shifts and everything starts to move. If we can get narrower, again that body can rotate better and my arms can stay connected to my chest. So I forgot my towel, which is always pretty much forgetting something, but again I've just took my jumper off here, and all we're going to do today is, again, if I have a long towel, I want to get that underneath my arms. So from here, this is working on our arm connection. So one of the biggest things I see with people is in the backswing, arm will work off and into chicken wing on the way back, and then what I see a lot of times on the way through is the same. They're trying to drive that ball towards the target, which then engages the leading edge, and I see a lot of people dig in, either duff the ball just in front of them, body still facing forwards, not rotated towards our target. And obviously what we want to do in short game is get the chest rotating, because that controls what the club head is going to do. So obviously if I get my body rotating, this left shoulder will now work up, which will help shallow out the angle of attack, which will stop me from those guys who just dig into the ground. So under both sleeves, weight left, and then from here pick a target. We'll make a couple of hits. So good, you can see the club's out in front of my chest there, body's rotated, and that ball has gone towards my target. A little bit short, so obviously there my feedback is I had a good strike, the direction was good, but it wasn't long enough, so I need to make a little bit of a longer swing on this one. Good, and that's now ran out towards the hole. So I wouldn't stand here and do millions of shots. Again, we might hit a maximum here of 10, because it's going to feel strange to a lot of you. We're only going to hit 10 balls doing this. So again, have a couple of practice swings, feel comfortable, and then from there, weight left, and down. And again, start to hold your finish position, start to give yourself a reference. So the first time you do it, you might see that your hands have passed, okay, they've flipped over, and my chest isn't as turned through. So start to give yourself feedback, and that's what we do. So obviously every single time I'm going to get something from this, and that's going to relate to what shot I've just played. Final one here. So that's the best one by far. That's gone to around about a foot, which is good. We'd take that all day. So obviously what I get, and I understand, I'll get comments below, well, we can't do that on the golf course. Obviously you might have seen in some of the putting videos, we can obviously tuck your shirt and start to feel it. So if your pattern is somebody who has this right arm come off in the backswing, okay, when you're on the golf course, you could tuck your shirt. If you've got a jacket on, you can tuck that shirt And then obviously as you make a chip shot, you can go through, okay, and your reference is now, right, is my arm still connected? Has that loosened, or is it still there? The same if you're somebody who has that left arm that drives, which is the one I see the most. Again, tuck that sleeve, set up, good, hold your finish, right, my reference is there. So we can do that on the golf course. It's not classed as cheating, so it is something that you'll see. Justin Rose does that quite a lot. It gives him feedback, but it also reminds him on the golf course, right, that's what I need to do. I need to make sure that's connected. So from there, if you start to feel comfortable with that, and obviously you still want to get better, you still want to improve your strike, it's not fixed it perfectly, we can start to do a one-handed drill. So you'll have seen this before, where we're just going to have your right hand on the club, we'll hold with your left hand, keep that arm connected to your chest, and start to hit some shots one-handed, okay? You'll start to see how light we're going to have our grip. So what I see a lot of times, obviously people are strangling the grip. From there it's very rigid and very forced. Here we can have a lighter grip, obviously let that club head swing and pass, but you'll see that my body's turning with that. So I'm not just driving the hands. If you're somebody who accelerates, you'll start to take a divot, it'll start to catch behind, and that's what we call lag. So if you get any kind of lag in there, that's going to hit the ground, hit the ball, and obviously not get the flight, spin, direction, anything that you want, okay? The hardest one, especially for right-handers, so if it's left-handers it's the reverse, but the hardest one for right-handers will be this one. So left hand only, and again, because most of us are right-handed because we're right-hand dominant. I'm actually left-hand dominant, but some of us are strange, aren't we? We're a strange breed. So left hand's going to be the hardest for most of you, so we keep again that right hand, keeping it to the chest, and again from here start to let that club head fall, and we have to turn. So obviously here, if we don't turn and we drive that club, you're going to see we're going to hit the dreaded shot, the shank, okay? That now means, okay, we're not turning and we're not letting that club head release, but we're going to get feedback. If we can do it one-handed, so if I can come in here now and do the right hand only, so weight left, setup's the same, still make sure I turn and release that club head. Good, so club's finished out in front of me there, ball popped up nice and it went the distance. Then what I would do is I'd switch, so I'd go left-handed now, still the same setup, and here more so I need to focus on turning. So back, through. Again, came off a little bit fiery there, you can see that came off a little bit left. So I close the face a little bit, but I'm starting to get feedback. You can see from there, the club head speed then obviously dictates how far it goes. So obviously if I do a shorter motion there, because I've now got the strike and the flight, we can start to hit a lot better chips, a lot more consistent chips, and we can do this to different distances. So when you feel comfortable, like for me for example, I could do some one-handed chips to this short-sided flag here, which is only a very small motion, which will then trickle down. I could then mix that up and again go to this middle one and go right hand only, so weight left. Start to play different shots. Start on a reasonable lie, so give yourself a friendly lie, then start to work your way around the green and try and hit one-handed shots. You'll start to see how you'll let the club head swing a lot better. From there obviously we can get better contact and more consistent. Guys, comment below, hopefully that helped you out. If you didn't get the strike that you wanted, comment below, let's see what kind of shots you were still hitting and we'll try and work out why. Guys, as always, hope you've enjoyed and I'll see you again tomorrow.